Talk me through your very scary scenario.
Keep in mind, I don't have your PhD.
I think there's a coordinated plot for terrorist attack. It's gonna be big.
Thank you very much for taking the time out of your
Thank
very
you for
busy
having me.
schedule to speak to me. I'd like to start by asking you for a little bit of a background to the story of Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan, classically, is a character who works in finance. We first see him in the beginning of the film getting his PhD at a very young age at the London School of Economics, and then he sees the towers hit 9/11/2001 and decides to join the Marines and serve in Afghanistan, at which point he's injured greatly, and when he's recuperating gets recruited to join the CIA as a financial analyst.
And the story of this new Jack Ryan in the 21st century is Chris Pine's character identifying an appalling plot by a Russian oligarch billionaire, into which his beautiful partner, Keira Knightley, is drawn, and they both end up in a scary Moscow where the plot appears to resolve itself until they have to chase all the way back to New York, where it's going to get even muckier. That's the kind of backbone of our story. A key scene was Jack alone in Moscow. He's just killed a man. He didn't mean to. He didn't know he was going to be attacked. He's alone on a rooftop. The light is falling. He needs help. Chris Pine's vulnerability in that, I think, is as you would never see in a Bond or a Bourne. There's a he is indeed out of his, as he said, I'm out of my goddamn element. And he reminds us of us were we to be in such a situation. You know, we don't suddenly have the Secret Service skills. And that quality in Chris's performance, I think, starts making the distinction.
Ken and I talked very much about what it would be like for a guy who's not a trained assassin, not a trained killer, someone who does not do this regularly, what it would be like if he had to take a life. Would he feel sorrow, anger, would he feel emotion at all? Because oftentimes in these action films, you see the heroes kind of defeat, you know, willy-nilly all these bad guys that drop like flies, and they don't ever blink, they don't sweat, they don't cry. And so we wanted to have a different kind of version of that. So we see Jack shake. He's, you know, a little unstable afterwards, as I think anybody would be.
It's better they're shaking afterwards than during. First person I ever killed, Jack, was innocent.
What did you do?
She didn't do anything. She was a bystander. Just came up behind me too quick.
How do you get over something like that?
You're lucky you get past it.
It's not the same thing.
What do you want audiences to take away from Jack Ryan, Shadow Recruit, when they see it in cinemas?
That I think there's room in the action universe for a guy that's relatively simple. He's a man who's complicated in that he's got a fantastically adept and facile and working mind, but he's also a man that wants to serve. And he's not a brooding, kind of angst-filled, dark hero. He's a good guy, and he's an everyman. And to see a guy that you could imagine being in your circle of friends, or your teacher, your accountant, to see him in these fantastically crazy situations, trying to, you know, save the world from destruction, I think is fun.
You're not just an analyst anymore. You're operational now.
Oh my God. Tokyo, London, the United States, it's gonna be a wipeout.
You Americans like to think of yourselves as direct. Perhaps you are just rude.
Perhaps you're just touchy.